Also, BBC are doing a space season, and on BBC4, that means we get a French space drama about a mission to Mars. Now, hands up, but I did get a chance to see it if I'd have remembered to see it. So Matt and Gary have watched one of the 2 episodes that will go out as part of a double bill. Firstly, would I have liked this, I suppose? Did I make the right choice?
It's quite spacey, as you would imagine.
Yeah. It's unusual. The opening scene is of a Russian cosmonaut trying to re-enter Earth manually. So I think the sort of fail-safe mechanism that normally re-enters people into the atmosphere fails, and he has to do it manually, and you don't know whether he survives or not, but he crashes. You then fast forward to what must be, I would have thought, the near future. I wouldn't have said it was current. I would have said it was the near future. And you get a French psychologist who has died. They announced on the news has died, and she was part of this entrepreneurial mission to Mars. So sort of like a Richard Branson, Elon Musk type character who's organising this kind of crack mission to Mars. And they now need a psychologist. So you meet the French psychologist. It's about a 25-minute episode. Yeah. It moves very fast. You're automatically then drawn straight to them sort of, a day away from entering the orbit and landing on Mars. The sort of way in which they introduce everybody is that the entrepreneur sits down with the psychologist and says, what's your view on everybody? And we find out that her view is that one of them is becoming slightly sociopathic and is only talking to the onboard computer.
Irene is their name?
Yes, Irene is the name of the computer. Yes, well remembered. Very unusual name.
Like Mrs. McNamara.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, well remembered there. 10 points.
We're not all you, Gary. It's not a skill to remember the name of somebody.
At this point, you find out that there's 2 couples on the ship.
The captain of the ship is married to another of the astronauts. They're like a husband and wife.
Oh, that's it, yes. The psychologist is sleeping purely physically, I think. There's no sort of... She doesn't want any kind of relationship with him, and he kind of does. He realises that his marriage is breaking up. You've also got a sort of like a very arrogant second in command who is now kind of like very rebellious against the lead. You've got various other characters, some that you don't really get anything of in that little speech. But the mission takes a turn because as they agree to land on Mars, there is a problem with the thrusters, I think.
Well, it's sort of the thing that disconnects their module from the main ship to allow them to go to Mars. And the one thing actually before that you missed was that the financier reveals that another crew got to Mars ahead of them, but have since released a warning message saying that don't come here. And now their mission has instead is not now the first mission, but is a rescue mission to get these guys back off Mars.
And the end of the first episode sees them successfully. Well, that's a mixture of successfully and not at all. Not at all successfully landing on Mars, but in the meantime, the captain has to go outside and manually release a mechanism to allow the landing gear to land or something, or the re-entry to allow the entry, and he gets blown off into space. So we lose the captain.
Not by the psychologist.
That's right. Yes, we lose the captain. Then we get the scene of them landing on Mars. But of course, at that point, it's like, well, we've not no fuel to get back.
Irene's crashed.
They've got like a day of air.
This just sounds berserk. Was it as mad as your description sounds?
It was a lot happened in 25 minutes, definitely.
I really enjoyed it, and I think one of the things I really enjoyed was the fact that it was only half an hour. It's very difficult because there's nothing really to compare it to. But I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm with you, really. I mean, I wasn't utterly compelled to watch the second one straight away, which I don't know how good a thing that is, but I think they did a good job within the time frame of building up the central characters. You got to know, as you say, the captain, the second in command, the psychologist, the financier, the guy who, as you say, is sort of only talking to Irene and has sort of shut himself off from everyone else.
He's the one that intrigues me the most because, of course, without Irene, what will he do?
Believable, authentic world, Matt, would you say? Or
at the moment, because this was literally just them getting to Mars. Whether it will maintain that once they've got to Mars. Now they're on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I will try and watch the second one, definitely, and then see where I am with it. But, you know, it's not like a sort of blow away foreign smash, I would say. It didn't, like, wow me, but it was a good sort of piece of old-fashioned sci-fi with characters that you sort of got to know quite quickly.